Welcome back to Weekly Spiel. Welcome back to Weekly Spiel. Yada yada blah blah blah. Yada yada blah blah blah. It's time for Margaret's Weekly Spiel. Greetings and salutations. This is Margaret Franklin of Margaret Franklin Creations. Today is Wednesday, the 22nd of January. I can't believe January is going so fast. January usually drags, but I have had a lot of excitement for the past month or so. Starting with the build-up towards Christmas. It seemed more magical than ever this season. Best Christmas I've had since I was a kid. Having the tree up, leaving the tree up, for the little one up for another week or two to display my mushroom collection. I've put it away for now. I'm seriously thinking of doing a Valentine's Day tree. Anyway, what is new here today? Those of you watching my last video saw my famous bikini t-shirt with its latest tattoo. Hello, Halifax. Love you guys. Just a shout out to you. And we had our group yesterday at CMHA. The topic was create your own culture. And the opening quote was, well-behaved women seldom make history. Anyway, what else is new? Well, I was talking with Jeanette today. Every day at noon, or maybe even a little earlier, 11:30 or so, we FaceTime at our computers. She uses iPod Touch. And we do our little Bible study. We have our daily devotional from David Jeremiah. I read a page, we pray together, and that book has really been a blessing to us. And she also likes to play her little video games on her iPod Touch, but lately they've been showing her these horrible ads for these, was it match games with the screaming baby? She's written them a complaint letter, and I don't blame her, because these games are atrocious, they're inappropriate, they are triggering for people who suffer from autism like me and noise sensitivities like both of us. Yeah, we're both autistic, we both have noise sensitivities. Screaming babies are one of our worst triggers. What about somebody, and like these games are about horrible things like people being homeless and it's up to you to keep them warm, and we have enough drama and sadness in the real world. Why make a video game about it? Well, I know that, I remember back when I was working at the doll store in Toronto, a customer asked if we had any dolls that cried. No way. That's one thing my former boss and I agreed upon, is we don't have any crying dolls because there is enough sorrow and sadness in the world. And anyway, what is new here? I've been working on my latest masterpiece. You can see your logo right here. Like, the theme for our group was create your own culture, so I'm working on a collage based on that. It is not finished yet by a long shot. I need more. I found a couple of these smaller pictures from my previous project, and I'm going to fill up some spaces with these. I got some fortune cookie messages. What does that say? Your perseverance will pay off soon, and be careful what you wish for. You just might get it. And there's me going down the roller coaster. Whee! And I've been working on my daily stitch journal. Yeah, this was yesterday's entry, the logo, and today's entry, you can't see it very well, but it's supposed to be a slug crawling over a rock. I love those commercials for Wealth Simple, where little slug is going along and talking to himself about all his expenses and his issues in lives. And then, like, that's one commercial. But the one I like better is the one where he's determined to make his way across the sidewalk, and there's literally a boulder in his way. It's just a little rock, but of course to a slug it's humongous. It's like a mountain, and he has a huge drop of water hits him on the head, just a drop of rain, but of course to a snail it would be like me getting doused with a bucket. And of course at the end he makes it up over the rock. So I made it across the sidewalk. And there's just something so relatable about this slug character. I've had sort of a fascination for snails and slugs lately, especially since my last birthday. I haven't seen any lately, but my husband and I like to watch a lot of nature shows about animals and especially life under the ocean. I've had a bit of a obsession with these creatures called nudibranchs. They are sea slugs. There's like over 10,000 species of nudibranchs, some ranging from microscopic to about 6 inches. My favorite ones are the blue and yellow ones. They move along like with ripples along the side. I would love to design a nudibranch inspired dress, like a flowing caftan with ruffles, bright blue and yellow. Maybe I should do that, but I never really had much patience to sew for myself. Like I make stuffed animals and doll clothes and stuff like that. I have a pair of nudibranch earrings. I haven't worn them in a while. I made a pair, like, back in the summer when we were doing crafts at CMHA, I made a pair of nudibranchs and a pair of bright orange seahorses. But with the seahorses, one of them broke the first time I put it on, and I haven't gotten around to fixing it yet. I have my mushroom earrings. All of them are made out of air-hardening polymer clay, and you put it in the, no, not air-hardening. I hate air-hardening clay. It dries faster than you can use it. This is polymer clay that hardens in the oven. And I find my mushroom earrings are my favorites. I wear them all the time. Not wearing any earrings at the moment because I'm just here around the house. Anyway, I think you may or may not have met my friend Waddle. I have had him since August of 2001. I won him at the CNE. He's still wearing his Christmas hat. Yeah, he didn't want the holiday season to end. Well, it hasn't. I still have the Christmas spirit in my heart because I have just had so much excitement and creativity over the last month. And that's great. This is Waddle's wife, Weedu. I bought her a couple weeks after I got him at the Salvation Army. She has another dress that Jeanette made for her, and this is the fairy princess costume I made for her for New Year's Eve, and it's starting to fall apart. Waddle's always wanted a Hawaiian shirt, so I made him one for our Myrtle Beach trip, but I had to keep cutting it down and taking it in because I couldn't get the size right. It's kind of difficult to make something for someone with a pear-shaped body. Like, I used to dread when I worked at the doll store having to make clothes for those. Do you remember Minnehaha and Kimmy the Eskimo? Those little dolls, Indian and Eskimo, and they had these weird pear-shaped bodies with big butts, and it always kind of reminded me of the bottom of a golf club, like. But like, you know, golf clubs but it's not flat on the one side. They're just round with no crack. And they're really, really difficult to make dresses for because of their weird pear-shaped bodies. Anyway, Waddle has several tattoos. One of these hours I want to give him a tattoo of the for the Halifax logo, cuz right now he's got Kiss, he's got a hippocampus, mythical seahorse, tiger bunny, mushroom, flying pig, mermaid, sea turtle, a narwhal, a Herschel Spillman carousel frog, and a hot air balloon. A lot of these are tattoos I might want for myself someday. I have one of my favorites is my pile of frogs. It was a greeting card that my husband found at the hardware store years ago. We held on to it all these years, and I thought, that would make such a cool tattoo. I've had that for just over a year now. I got it when Jeanette and I celebrated our birthdays her birthday in January of last year. And she just turned 61, or should I say, 21 with 40 years experience, which is how old I'll be on my next birthday too, but that's not until July. Go figure. Her birthday is in the coldest part of the winter, and mine is in the hottest part of the summer. And my last birthday, I made the mistake of trying to do everything in one day. Don't! Like, part of the fun of having a birthday is spreading the festivities out over several days. Because we went out for nachos for lunch, and it's impossible to stop with them. Then we got our tattoos. Both got these matching ladybugs. And that evening, my husband's dad and stepmom took me and him out to the Mandarin. And what's the good of a buffet if you can't make a pig of yourself? Because I couldn't eat as much as I could to really get our money's worth out of it, which is probably a good thing because I don't really need to. No fat shaming here. Forget I said that. But I started to get sick, and I was eating dessert. I had, I think, tiger tail ice cream and lime sherbet, and it was coming back up on me, and I had to make a mad dash for the bathroom. I didn't make it in time and ralphed into a nearby wastebasket as soon as I got in the door. But the place was super, super busy, and people were always getting in the way, and waiters with carts were always sneaking up on me. Kids were running out in front of me. It was not a good situation. I don't know what I'm going to do for my next birthday, because what did I do for the year? What did I do the year before? I forget. One thing I do remember the year before was when we got our new flat screen TV. It arrived on my birthday. So Dave and I watched Star Wars on the big screen in our house for the first time, and that was really nice. My favorite birthdays have been ones where I ride carousels. The last time we did that Center Island? We're toying with the idea of going to Woodbine Center. I hear it's pretty empty these days. Most of the stores are closed down, but they still have Fantasy Fair. And they have these great big giant toy animals that you can rent and ride. I think there was an episode about those on Bob's Burgers. And they don't seem to have a very bad weight limit. I seen a guy riding one who looked like he was about 400 pounds. And there was an episode of Bob's Burgers, I think it was Jean and Louise didn't know how to make them stop, so they're riding them until the battery runs down. And I think they try to stop, they grab them in motion and cut the wires. That would be a fun thing to do on my next birthday, unless I do something completely different. Jeanette and I haven't, well, we've been to Bob Cajun to stay at my aunt's place, let her spoil us for a few days and take us places. And that we plan on doing that in June. Visit our friend Lorraine, who lives in Bob Cajun. And I want to have lunch at the Grilled Cheese Hideaway. Trouble is, Jeanette doesn't really like anything with melted cheese. Hence the history of the melted cheese song. You probably saw that in her birthday video. Melted cheese, melted cheese. There's a story behind that. Back when I lived in Lindsay, we used to go out, and she still had her car. We used to go out on excursions on the weekend, and one weekend we drove all the way to Lakefield, and they had the Indian Reserve with the huge art gallery and the store. And there was this mom-and-pop restaurant, and everything on the menu had melted cheese in it. So she ended up ordering just a bowl of chicken noodle soup. I ordered the Backwoods hot dog. It's supposed to have Swiss cheese, mushrooms, and bacon. But I guess I didn't even see it on the menu. The waitress just brought me an ordinary hot dog. Kind of disappointing. But this is kind of our parody of the Monty Python spam sketch. You know, where the couple's in the restaurant and the lady's going, I don't like spam! And the Vikings are going spam, 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 spam. I'm doing this one, I was doing some Kiddio fan fiction, where Jeanette and I are at a restaurant with Ace, Buddy, and PJ, and everything on the menu has melted cheese, and Jeanette's getting really discouraged, and there's a group of Druid monks at the next table going, melted cheese, melted cheese. Anyway, I guess I have carried on long enough for now, and I want to say a very special hello to my friends in Halifax once again. And that's it for now. Bye-bye. Be back soon. Thanks for watching Weekly Spiel.